This is Hoodies.
You subscribe to my pod?
Flowing so lethal. Peace. What's going on? Testing 1 2 1 2. Testing 1 2 1 2. It's about you. We gon' make a song tonight. It's about you. I'ma put you on tonight. So amazing. Hey, check it out. Let's just go ahead and do it. Welcome back to another dope session of Hoodies the Podcast. I'm the host, the Garbage Shitty, coming at you live from the Skill Suite. Maybe not so live, but we coming at you, man. Word. We coming at you. Know what I mean? Take this with you. Take that. Check it. Let's get right into this. I got a little bit of time, so let's go ahead and do this. Check it out. So I got a little something for the relationship coaches, relationship gurus, this, that, and the third. Well, it's not even for them. It's more so for people who get into that type of content. And I suppose we all do on some level, right? On some level. Somebody might say something that we agree with, and then boom, oh, word, yeah, that's it right there. That's the one right there. But listen, man, at the end of the day, and by the way, I'm no relationship guru, relationship coach, none of that. However, I am of the belief, everybody's got their own thing. I am of the belief that a decent portion of relationships comes down to connection. And when I say connection, I mean, I don't necessarily mean sex. You know what I'm saying? It's about connection, right? How do you establish a connection? I'm of the belief that happens through a series of questions and answers. That may be an oversimplification, but a series of questions and answers. You know what I'm saying? I'm always talking to youngsters, young brothers in my chair, and I say to them all the time when they meet a young lady, you know, I always tell them, man, ask questions. Ask questions. For real. Ask questions, because you ask those questions and you get the answers that'll give you a lot of the clarity that you need, right? And also tell them to not stop there. To not stop there. You still got to do two more things after you ask questions. First, you listen to it's three more things. You listen to the questions. The answers. You listen to them. You take it in. And then, okay, after you take it in, that's one thing. Then the second thing after that is to also listen to what they're not saying. You understand? So comprehend and then listen to what they're not saying. And then the third, lastly, is pay attention to their actions to make sure that they all line up together. Got to make sure they all line up. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, this ain't something I just know. This is something that I've learned throughout the years through trial and error. You know what I'm saying? So comprehend the answer. Also listen to what they're not saying within that answer. And then see if the actions match up with it. You understand what I'm saying? Get all of those things. Get all of those things so that you can get some clarity. Because without the process of questions and answers, there's confusion. And a lot of fucking confusion. A lot of toxic shit. Because you don't understand nothing. You don't understand nothing about each other. You don't understand shit. You don't understand anything. You got to get connection. You know what I'm saying? And say if you ask questions and you don't get answers, boom, that still leads to confusion. And of course, if you don't even ask the questions, then how you expect to get any answers? All comes down to a series of questions and answers in order to establish a connection. It's about connection. It ain't about a big wedding. It ain't about, sure, it's about provision, protection, and all of those things. But if you don't have a connection, your woman will talk you right into a fight and get your ass murdered. See, if you got the proper connection, she'll know, let me chill before that happens. Let me chill the fuck out, watch my mouth. You know what I'm saying? Same thing for a man. Speaking about a woman running her mouth, as a man, You gotta recognize it as just a bunch of fucking gibberish and just let the gal and them talk. Just let her talk. Just let her get on with it. Let her go ahead and get it out. Ain't no point in trying to argue with a woman. You're not gonna win. You are not going to win. Okay? Some men, not all, right, will incorporate a good old fashioned shut the fuck up. You know, the kind of recalibrator. Recalibrate her ass with a shut the fuck up. Take note though, that don't work on every woman. For some women, you know, you have to try a different approach. For some women, you have to try, you know what? Not now. Now isn't a good time. Now's not a good time. And then walk away, or depending on the type of woman she is, she may be the one to walk away. Hell, she may even keep on talking, which is that's your cue to go ahead and walk away. But get the connection, fam. Get the connection. Because listen, what a lot of these relationship gurus and so-called relationship gurus and coaches don't tell, what they don't tell is that, okay, say you make it through the questions and the answers, and now you have a union, not necessarily marriage, but a union with this woman, or, you know, if you're a woman, you know, with the man, or whatever your situation is. Say you have the connection. Say you've gone through the series of questions and answers, yeah, and you got the clarity, you got this, and you got that, right? There's no such thing as a perfect relationship. Trust me, I've been married 3 times with various serious relationships here and there, right? And I would say that those are all failed relationships, but I learned something from each one of them, so I'm not going to call them failures. They were lessons to be learned. Which is why I'm telling you now about the connection and the series of questions and answers, and deciphering what's being said and listen to what's not being said, and then pay attention to the actions. All this wisdom has come from all the mistakes or missteps of things that wasn't said, wasn't done, the boundaries that wasn't established, all that shit. And then boom, here I am. But anyway, my point is, once you've established the connection and now you have a union, listen, man. Sometimes your SO, meaning your significant other, go through phases. They go through phases. Because listen, when you're with someone throughout the years, right, the both of you are going to change. If you with somebody, say 2 years, just 2 years, let's start with 2 years. That person around the 2-year mark is most likely not the same person that you met 2 years prior. You ain't the same person either. Y'all learn something from each other. You learn some things about life. You understand what I'm saying? So it's almost like you have to, it ain't almost like, it is. You have to constantly make the decision to love this person. Because it's not the same person. You're both progressing and evolving together. And notice I'm doing this because one would think that you're evolving for the better, that the both of you are evolving individually and together in this union for the better, right? So anyway, about the phases, right? Because we all change. Shout out to Will Smith, shout out to Shaquille O'Neal, and various other folk. Why am I bringing up Will Smith and Shaquille O'Neal, right? We all witnessed what I believe, now this cannot be a phase, but this is what I believe to be a phase from Sister Jada Pinkett Smith. You know, in an effort to promote her book, there was a lot of talk about Tupac. And I believe it was something. I didn't read her book, so I'm gonna keep it funky. I didn't read her book, and I'm gonna be funky, but I didn't have no interest in it. I didn't have no interest. The whole Tupac thing just threw me off. I didn't want to read it, right? But she may have mentioned either. I seen the quote. It's either from the book or from her Red Table Talk situation before, right? Not sure if that's still around. That's another thing I just didn't watch. It's not my cup. I may have seen an episode or two. I think Kevin Hart was on there before, and then of course Will himself. Anyway, I believe she said something along the lines of not being sexually satisfied by Will Smith. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm admitting that. I'm putting that out there right now. That don't even really matter. We do know there was a whole lot of talk about Tupac. And Will Smith's response to all of that was, now, see, on the outside looking in, he loved her through that. Maybe that's a phase that she was going through. You see what I'm saying? Looking back on her life. You know, we all do it. We look back on our lives, past relationships, past situations, this, that, and the third. And boom, here we are in the position to write a book, and we want to be truthful, so we put certain things out there. If you ask me, that was a phase, right? And listen, man, that is yet another decision that one must make. You know what I'm saying? In terms of loving this person, you know what I'm saying? While they're in their phase, loving them through it, loving them in spite of, supporting them, and this, that, and the third, in spite of the phase. You understand what I'm saying? And we all go through it. It's just that, when folk that's in the public eye go through it in real time, and so because it's happening in front of our faces, we all judge and say this, that, and the third. But it serves them right, though. If you're gonna be in the public eye and put things out there, then you have to accept the criticism that comes along with it. Another person I spoke about was Shaquille O'Neal. Recently, his ex-wife Shawnee O'Neal, I believe is Shawnee Anderson now, has been recently on the record of saying that she's not even necessarily sure if she was even in love with Shaq. I think they got six kids together, and this, that, and the third, right? And then she went on to say that maybe she was just in love with the whole concept of having a family and this, that, and the third. I'm sure the money didn't hurt either, right? Shaq's response to that was, I don't blame you. I wouldn't have loved me either back then. Pro athlete, you know what I'm saying? Doing his own size situation, traveling for away games, this, that, and the third. It's been noted that Shaq wasn't the best, wasn't the hardest worker, but I'm sure he put in some time in the gym. Probably just not as much as Kobe and the rest of them dudes. And that was his response, though. I don't blame you. I wouldn't have loved me back then either. And also keep in mind that the thing with Will Smith and Shaquille O'Neal is that they got kids together. You got kids together. There's a certain level, of tolerance. There's a certain level of love and appreciation that men tend to have toward the mothers of their children. That ain't for everybody. Y'all know what I mean. You see what I'm saying? Once again, phase. I'm of the belief that this is a phase for Shawnee Henderson. Okay? I don't believe Shaquille O'Neal is her first husband. Forget first, but her only marriage. I believe she's been married a couple more times after that. So some may argue who's the problem man. But that's something else. My point is, I'm of the belief that Shaquille O'Neal, even though they aren't even together anymore, is loving her through that phase. Okay? That might have been a reach. I'll accept that. That might have been a reach. Right? And I see folk going through it all the time. Not to say no names and not to air nobody out. I be having clients that talk about different phases they woman going through. Some clients have, significant others who ain't putting out, who ain't giving up the box. You know what I'm saying? And it's going on for quite some time. And some of these folk are looking for a divorce from their wives. Now me, if it's that bad, I'll go get me a side piece. There's no way in hell I will leave my woman over sex. And maybe that's my, 49-year-old self talking. Maybe it's that. Maybe a younger me, late 20s, 30s, maybe a younger me, maybe like, shit, I don't blame you, my nigga. I don't blame you. I don't know. But me now, sex is important, sure. Sex is all that, sure. But sex ain't everything. It's just sex. It's just sex. You know what I'm saying? And if your relationship is based just off that, it wasn't gonna make it anyway. It wasn't gonna make it if it's based off sex. A little side note, that's kind of one of the things that I would advise a daughter if I had one. I got a granddaughter, so maybe someday I'll tell her. But if you want to know if a man is really feeling you, is what I would say to a daughter or to any young lady. If you want to know if a man is feeling you, don't give up the box right away. That ain't a good look to begin with. But don't give up the box. You understand? Because it's a telltale sign if a man's feeling you if he sticks around. When a man is feeling you and there's no sex involved, that man is now going to figure out other ways to form a connection with you. You see what I'm saying? So then by the time y'all do get it on, all sex would do is just enhance what the two of you have already established. If that makes any sense whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? So, see, these are all the things that relationship coaches and relationship gurus, if you will, don't tell you. They don't tell you all those things. You know what I'm saying? They quick to tell you, shit, girlfriend, you should leave him. Shit, hell yeah, you know goddamn well ain't none of y'all leaving. Some of you are, but most of you are not. Most folk are not leaving. Just call it what it is. And maybe they shouldn't. Maybe they shouldn't. That's the problem. You know what I'm saying? And I can speak on that because I used to run. The best runner. I'd be quick to run away first in a relationship. I've been like that ever since I was young. You know what I'm saying? Quick to run. Quick to run and get the fuck out of here. I'll break up in a heartbeat. I'll walk away in a heartbeat. It was nothing. And that's part of the problem. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us are ready to go ahead and give up and get the fuck out of there. And we all go through phases. I guarantee you, folk who's been together 20 years, just imagine the learning curves they went through. Just imagine that. All the fuckery, all the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? It's connection, man. The union. That's a real flex right there. And now I feel like I'm just rambling. But connection is important. Dead ass. And listen, if sex in the relationship is an issue, it's a couple things you gotta take a few things in mind. Ladies, are you wearing that outfit that you used to wear when y'all first met? You know what I'm saying? Or are you putting on the outfit but now you ain't the same size? Take those things into consideration. Same thing, fellas. You know what I'm saying? You working on that stomach, fam? Getting your push-ups in, working on your arms, fam? You know? How's your breath, my nigga? You know what I mean? You still got all your teeth. For all of us getting older, you still got all your stones. I'm just saying, a lot of those things play into it. You know, men are visual creatures. Women are too, to a degree. You know what I'm saying? There's all kinds of... See, man, I should become a relationship guru. I've been in a shitload of relationships. Maybe I should become one. Because I done seen it all. At least I've seen a lot. Put it that way. I've seen a lot. Done a lot. Maybe I should consider becoming one. You know what I'm saying? I done some of everything with a woman. I ain't done no gay shit. And I ain't never robbed a broad. You know what I'm saying? But I done... Man, listen. Man, oh man, oh man. Well, I tell you, Rashidi's been around the block a few times. Yep, been around the block. I done had some of the finest lips. Yeah, that's another story. But connection, man. That's the message in this pod. Connection. Union. And how do you achieve that? Series of question and answers. The three parts to that: decipher, you know what I'm saying? Listen to what they're not saying, and then check out their actions. See if they all match up. Word up. That's what they won't tell you. I'm the God Rashidi. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Hope this helps. This is Hoodies. Peace. Ayy.
It's here.
You subscribe? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
This is Hoodies. Word. Dope, the affirmation is fucking amazing. I weed it, rub my back in the war, cause I'm so fucking brazen. Here I be with a vest, 49 and fresh. H and I C on this quest, I guess. Alpha male of the pack, hard, I don't divest. Nah, I don't divest, that's what I acquiesce. I got bars from my bars, 45 for the